Hello, welcome. I am Shady from Sci Weather, and here's all your information you need to know about today's winter weather. Okay, now taking a look at the radar. Right now, we do not severe weather going on at this time, but we do have some major snowstorms taking place over here in the California areas, and then we have some going to be taking place into the Midwest and Rockies, and then we have some more that's going to take place into the Pennsylvania areas this week and into next week. So we're going to be taking a look at the two significant snowstorms that are going to be taking place this week, and it's going to lead over into the next week. Okay, real quick before I show you the one that's going on in California right now, here's the current look at the system. This is about 6 hours out. This is going to be the one that we're keeping an eye on into tomorrow. And then we have another one that's going on right now into the Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, and into the Iowa areas that's going to be taking place right now. So I want to go ahead real quick and show you about, it's going to be around right now it's going to be a couple scans out. Obviously, you can see there's some significant snowfall going on right here in the California area, and you can see that there is some significant snowfall going on into the Minnesota and Illinois. A couple more scans out, you can see there is some significant snowfall going on into the mountain regions of California, and some snowfall going to be taking place all across the Midwest and into the Northeast. And yes, winter is back, everybody. As you can see, this starts to diminish as it goes on. Looks to be a dry period right now, but we do have another winter storm that will be pushing down and will cause havoc into the Iowa areas. And then it is going to be impacting some of the Ohio regions and into some of the Rockies. This is very far out, but it is something to keep an eye on. Alright, taking a look at the first system that's going to be impacting California. Right now it's fairly quiet. Obviously there's some snow showers, but a couple more scans out, it really starts to intensify as there's going to be this heavy amount of snow that starts to lead into the mountain regions, into the northern California, and into some of the Oregon areas. And you can see there is significant, pinks and purples that will be causing some ice, which is a very dangerous situation. I know that region has been receiving some heavy amounts of snowfall this year, and I will say that there is going to be some more snowfall going around, but it does start to really diminish over into tomorrow, and it starts to really calm down, but still some snow that still is lingering around. Right now we're going to be going in and looking at our freezing rain. You can see that there is some significant freezing rain that's going to be taking place. Nothing like an inch or anything. It's just mostly going to be less than an inch of ice that could be taking place. And then the snow totals are going to be over at least 1 to 2 feet of snow that could be taking place in some of the Rockies. Into some of the mountain regions, and also into some of the more southern California, more tip of the southern northern California, and that's going to be taking place there. Very, very cold conditions that will be taking place, very dangerous conditions. Remember, do not drive if possible. Be safe out there with that system. Alright, taking a look at system 2, obviously there is some heavy amounts of snowfall taking place right now. And this is going to be taking place into some of the northern in Dakotas, into some of the southern South Dakota, Nebraska, and into some of the Kansas areas. And into the Iowa areas. Western Iowa could be seeing some heavy amounts of snow taking place right now as this system goes on. And we're going to go ahead and look at this, and you can see how it really starts to ramp up a couple hours when you can see how there is a lot of snow going on in Iowa, still a heavy amount of snow going into southern Dakota and into the Nebraska, and we have some pinks, which indicates some ice going on into the Kansas areas, and then you can see that there is some rain snow mix that does take place with how the rain areas are, and into some of the you know Kansas and into some of the Missouri areas. The system does start to move out as it moves on, and still impacts some of the Iowa regions tonight, bringing heavy amounts of snow. and then we ramp up for a next system that will take place later on this week, bringing icy conditions and very hazardous snowfall amounts. So next we'll be taking a look at the snowfall depth. Obviously some significant snowfall depths that will be taking place. I really do think the precipitation is going to kill off some of the snow, but still some hazardous snowfall totals, bringing up to 8 to 7 inches and possibly even 3 inches or 5 inches that could take place. I do think that some of these snowfalls in Iowa are going to increase, because I don't see them just having less than an inch. I can see them having up to 3 to 5 inches of snow. So very, very hazardous conditions going on, and we'll be taking a look at the freezing rainfall. And obviously, you can see that this does bring some, ice conditions up to a tenth of ice conditions going on over here into the Kansas area, still bringing some dangerous conditions to drive in. All right, now taking a look at our temperatures going on right now, we do have some, significant temperatures going on, as it is going to be very freezing for the time being. And we do have temperatures reaching almost in the teens to 6 to 11 degrees out there into the Montana regions, and it's going to feel like it negative. So it's going to be very cold. As you can see, this Arctic blast starts to really take shape. It starts to really take shape into the Minnesota, Iowa, and into the Wisconsin areas, bringing single digits, and into the teens, and bringing some very, very low temperatures for this type of season going on. And you can see it's really going to push down as the Arctic blast is going to be returning. And it's going to be nothing like that happened earlier last year. But look at this, a massive Arctic blast taking place later on that the GFS is indicating, but we possibly will not be seeing it take place. We just will have to, see how time goes on. Um, Wind chills are going to be very, very cold, making it feel like 14s. Um, Wind chills are going to be very, very cold, making it feel like the single digits into ones and possibly even negative digits in some cases. Still very, very cold, and indicating very, very low single to negative digits. And it's going to be very cold on how this is going to play out. It's going to be very cold. Very, very different than it was earlier. And we'll be taking a look at the wind bars. Obviously, it's going to be, you can see how it is going to be not as windy as, it seems to play out, but I can see it increasing. Obviously, there's your storm. It's going to be very windy, and once this really starts to push over to the east, you can see that low pressure system bringing heavy amounts of wind over into the Pennsylvania areas that could take place into a blizzard conditions. As you can see, we do have tons of warnings going on right now. This is very, very cluttered, but we'll be going over it. You can see that there is a massive amounts of warnings going on here, and a lot of warnings going on in these regions. So we'll be taking a look at this area first. Obviously, you can see that there is a massive amounts of flood watches going on, because this system that's going to be taking place this week has a lot of flood potential in the southern and western California, and we do have some flood warnings going on, as they did receive some heavy amounts of snow, and it is going to be, melting. You can see Oregon's very, very, warning wise, very decent. You can see that there is some winter storm warnings and winter storm watches in effect. You can see that there is some winter storm warnings for the mountain regions of California going on right now, and there is some winter storm. There is a winter weather advisory for most of the southern Dakotas and northern Dakota, and into the Minnesota, into the Nebraska areas, and going on into the Iowa areas. And there is some winter storm warnings going on, as there is a winter storm going on right now in that region. They have a winter storm warning for these areas, and in southernmost Minnesota, into the Iowa, and into some of the Wisconsin area. And you can see there is some winter storm watch, winter weather advisories going on right now into the Michigan, and also some winter weather advisories going on into the Pennsylvania and into the Buffalo areas. As there is going to be massive amounts of snowfall that's going to take place later on this week. You can see here we do have some flood warnings still in effect for the conditions that took place earlier this week, still bringing that massive amounts of flood, and there is going to be a potential of continuous of flood warnings being in effect. Alright, thank you for watching. I am Shady from SciWeather. I will be providing more coverage on this tomorrow as it goes on. Don't forget to like, subscribe, to those notifications on, and stay weather aware because this is a dangerous system that is going to be pushing through. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and don't forget to follow us on our on Discord, as we do have a new server that's going to be taking place soon. Thank you all for watching. I will see you guys tomorrow.